There's a certain stillness that winter brings in the garden. It's not just the absence of the usual hum of bees or the chatter of birds. It's deeper than that, a kind of silent agreement among all living things that now is the time for rest, for rejuvenation, and for quietly preparing for the resurgence of life in the spring. As I walk through this dormant landscape, my footsteps muffled by the thick blanket of snow, I'm reminded of the cycles of life and renewal that govern this place. The garden in winter is not dead, it's merely paused. Beneath the surface of the frozen earth, life continues in its most basic forms. Take, for instance, the leafcutter bees. Right now, they're nestled in their cocoons, hidden away in the nooks and crannies of the garden, growing, changing. To the untrained eye, it might seem like nothing is happening, but in reality, a transformation is underway. These bees, come spring, will emerge to pollinate and breathe life back into the garden. But it's not just the bees. The entire garden is in a state of waiting. There are jobs left undone, tasks that we've chosen to postpone until the warmer days return. The garden tools lie idle, gathering dust in the shed. The compost bin sits untouched, slowly breaking down its contents into rich, fertile soil that will nourish the garden in the months to come. It's as if the garden itself is holding its breath, waiting for the right moment to exhale. And yet, despite this stillness, there's a beauty to the garden in winter that you don't find at any other time of year. The way the early morning frost clings to the bare branches, turning them into delicate sculptures of ice. The soft, muted tones of the landscape, a palette of grays, whites, and browns that soothe the soul. The occasional burst of color from a hardy winter bloom defiantly standing against the cold. It's a reminder that even in the deepest chill, life finds a way to assert itself. As the cold days stretch on, I find myself drawn to the garden for solace and reflection. There's a clarity that comes with the simplicity of the winter garden. The distractions of the growing season are gone, allowing us to see the bones of the place, its underlying structure and beauty. It's a time for planning, for dreaming about what the next year will bring. What new plants will we introduce? What changes will we make to the layout or the planting plans? And then there are the small, quiet moments of joy that winter in the garden brings. The sight of a lone bird visiting, its feathers puffed out against the cold. The tracks of a squirrel or a rabbit in the snow, a fleeting record of their passage through the garden. The crisp, clean air that fills your lungs and clears your mind. As the winter progresses, the anticipation builds. We know that this period of stillness is only temporary, that soon the garden will awaken from its slumber with a burst of energy and life. But for now, we cherish this pause. This time of quiet and preparation. For it is in this stillness that we find the strength and inspiration to begin anew, to embrace the cycle of growth and renewal once again.